and welcome to a new episode of Acrafterstale podcast. My name is Nina and I'm coming to you from Småland in southern Sweden. If you are a new viewer and don't know this YouTube channel, this is a crafter's podcast. I'm mainly talking about my knitting, wood carving, sewing, some spinning, and lots of other crafts. Welcome. Let me first tell you a little bit about my summer before I get started to show you all my projects. We had a really lovely summer. We had really warm here in Sweden. June and July was really dry and warm, and that's not so normal for Sweden, so it was really dry, almost too dry in some areas. And yes, we had a really great time. We were on Gotland for 1 week, and it was really nice to come away and swim in the ocean and just to have a short holiday. And then we were at home in our new home. We moved in the end of June. We moved to a new house on the countryside outside Vimmerby. And yes, so it was a lot to do here. I had all my little plants in pots in the old place, so I had to really quick dig a garden so I could plant everything outside. So the first week I did a lot of work in the garden, day and night almost, so to get everything ready for all my vegetables. And it turned out really nice. It's not so big yet. I want to expand more next year, but for the first year I'm pretty happy how it turned out. And yes, and we made it cozy in the house, and so it was a lot to do, as always when you are moving to a new place, but also very fun. And we explored the surroundings. We have the lake just 2 minutes from here. We have really beautiful view over the lake from our house, and we did a lot of swimming in the lake this summer, and we're in the woods. And now it's blueberry season, so we have been in the woods a couple of times picking blueberries, and mushrooms are also coming now. So it's really beautiful here. And yes, maybe I can in the end of the video I can include some pictures and video clips of our garden so you can see how it looks. And so but let's get started with showing you my my recent knitting project. I will start with my knitting. I have not done so much knitting this summer. I've casted on 2 new projects last week because the weather was getting colder. Now in August it has been really rainy and a lot colder, and now I really feel that autumn is sneaking up on us. The nights are getting really cold now, and the days are getting shorter and shorter. And here in Sweden you notice this really quickly, that the days are getting shorter. And it's both sad that summer is ending, but I'm also really looking forward to autumn and winter, because now I have the chance to wear all my sweaters again and my socks, and because I really love to wear my woolly things. And so that I'm looking forward to, but a little bit sad that summer is ending. But we had a really great summer. So yes, but let's get started. The first project I want to show you is a finished project. Behind me, and I showed you this in the last episode. I have started it, and it's this little cardigan I made for Saga. And yes, it's finished, or it's almost finished. I'm not so happy with the neckline. It's a little bit too loose on her, so I have to knit, remake it, I think it will make a regular 1x1 ribbing up here and not an I-cord because it's too loose. But otherwise I'm really happy with this little design, how it turned out. And the yarn is just so lovely. I've told you before, this is the BC Bio Balance. It's a mix of cotton and wool, organic, and yeah, really soft for children. I think it's perfect yarn. And yeah, it's a little big on her, but yeah, I made it in a bigger size so she can have it next year as well. And yeah, I hope that I can finish the pattern really soon so I can call for testers and yeah, release this pattern maybe before the winter. And I'm also planning on knitting an adult version of this cardigan, and I hope, yeah, it can be released maybe for spring next year. That would be great. But yeah, first I will write down the pattern for this one. I have already started, but it's not the most fun thing to do with pattern writing. The writing part is not my favorite part, so I'm always a little bit slow with this part. So I hope that I can manage to do it. And it's my first garment design, so it's not so easy to size the different sizes, and I still have to figure out how to do it the best way. But yeah, I'm learning step by step and learning by doing, so wish me luck that I can manage to do it in a good way. Yes, the next project you know already as well. It's the Lovage sweater by Marie Wallen. And I've come so far. I'm almost done with the yoke, and yeah, there's only one more panel left now, but now I'm separating for the sleeves actually, and then there will be one more color work section on both the sleeves and down here, so it goes down like here, and then it's only this color stuck in it. And then Lucas will take over this project. We'll see how that goes, but he really wants to try anyway to knit on this. And yes, so yeah, I'm really happy how it turns out. I tried it on myself. I have blocked the yoke just to see how it looks, and yeah, it looks really great. I was a little bit concerned because in the pattern you knit the sweater bottom up, and I knitted it top down because I wanted to start with the color work so Lucas could take over later, and I had to rethink because when you knit reversed you have to increase, not decrease, and one time I did it wrong. I increased too much, I think, but then I just counted and looked that I could increase less in the next section, and I think it turned out well. So it doesn't look weird or something, and it fits me really well, and I think it should fit my mother-in-law really well as well. And she's really looking forward to getting her sweater, so I really hope that we can finish this sweater before winter, maybe in 1 or 2 months, hopefully. Yes, but it will be so pretty, and it's really fun to knit, but it's not the most relaxing knit, so I casted on a pair of socks. Where are they? Oh no, it fell behind the sofa. Ball of yarn. Yeah, anyway, here's the first one, and yeah, it's knitted in Nutiden yarn. I used 2 strands of 2 different colors, and yeah, I just made an easy garter cuff, and yeah, it's guarded in the inside and outside, and I always turned the work when I had one round, and that's why you can see I always like lift it over the last stitch, so it would be not open and closed. I don't know, it's hard to describe how I did it, but yeah, maybe you can see it here. Yeah, it's pretty simple how to do it. And yes, and then I made the heel and garter and the toe as well. And here I also have this slit stitches underneath. Yes, and I start the second one as well. This one is a little bit lighter than this, because yeah, there I had some more darker brown, and this one is more a beige. And yeah, I started with the heel on this, and I think they will be really cozy house socks. And this I'm knitting in I'm a Patreon at Ravelry, and patrons can buy Lucky Charm bags, and a Lucky Charm bag contains of small cakes of knitted yarn, because when they are changing the color in the mill from one to another, there's a transition, and yeah, they're always selling these transitions in Lucky Charm bags, and then you can get the different colors. And I have lots of these light pinks and browns and turquoise and some yellow and dark blue. So I think I will have enough to knit a pair for Lucas as well, and for Saga. And for Saga I already started. I have knitted one for her in red and in this brown. And I did it exactly the same way as I knitted mine, but for my socks I'm knitted these on 2.75 millimeter needles, and I had 12 stitches per needle, 48 stitches. Is that right? Yeah. And for Saga I had, how many stitches do I? 32 stitches, so 8 per needle. And it fits her really well. I knitted this one evening and I couldn't try it on her, so just chanced a bit and just knitted and guessed her size, and it fits her perfect. So now I have just to knit the other one, and then maybe I will knit a pair for Lucas as well in turquoise and brown, I think. So we all have a matching pair of warm house socks when it's getting colder. Yes, so it's a really nice project, just knitting on when I'm watching TV or something. And yes, then I have one more project that I casted on whilst we were on Gotland. But yeah, that's actually a funny story I can tell you. We were driving around one day on Gotland, me and Lucas and Saga, and we saw a sign saying spinning mill. And Lucas asked me, "Oh Nina, do you want to go there?" And I had promised myself not to buy any yarn while on vacation, and I knew if we would go there I would have to buy some yarn. And I said, no, we don't have to. And when we drove on, and I was really silent, and after a couple of minutes he asked me, "Are you sure?" And I said, yes. And he said, we're turning around. And he just knows me too well. So he turned around, luckily, and ended up at Gotland's spinning mill. And luckily they had opened and had a tiny shop, and you could see all the machines, and there was a lovely lady there telling us about the spinning mill. And of course I had to buy 2 skeins of yarn. And here we have the one, it's a light grey Gotland yarn, all sourced and spun on Gotland. The yarn is organic. Now I see actually it's Leicester and Gotland's. So it is a little bit of Leicester in this, so it's quite soft actually. And yes, I casted on a shawl the same day with this yarn. I bought a shawl pattern there in the shop, and it looks like this. It's a rectangular long shawl, and when we came home, I think I needed all this on Gotland. When we came home, I realized I don't really need another shawl, and I don't really like this shape of shawl as well, so I've decided to rip it out and knit something else with it. And I have already a plan to knit a slip over, and I think I will mix in one strand of silk mohair, so it will be really cozy for when it's cold. And yes, so I think I will rip it out. It's a little bit sad, but I know that I wouldn't wear it as often, and I really want to knit something with this yarn that I will wear a lot, and so yeah, I think it's the best to rip it out actually. So hopefully I can show you more about this slip over in the next episode, because I really want to cast it on in the next couple of days. Yes, then I have one last knitting project that I cast on just yesterday, or no, the day before, and it's a sweater, because I think I talked about it in the previous episode, what kind of garments I wanted to knit for this year, for this winter, and one of them was just an easy, cozy sweater. So I did some stash diving and found this Plötenlopi. It doesn't look so nice anymore. It has been in my stash for like 2 or 3 years. And this alpaca silk. And yeah, so I'm knitting a cozy, bulky sweater in 2 strands of Plötenlopi and 1 strand of this alpaca silk. Yeah, and I've come so far. It's a top-down sweater. The pattern is called Sunset Sweater by Mrs. Deer Knits. And yeah, it took me a while to choose a pattern, because there's so many great patterns out there for easy raglan sweaters, but most of them are in thinner yarns, and it's quite thick. I'm knitting this on 7mm needles, and yeah, this pattern is great because it's for bigger needles, and yes, it goes really fast, so that's really fun, and I think it will be really cozy when it's finished. Yes, so this will be great to have soon. Yes, that were all my knitting projects I have right now. So let's I will show you some wood carving. I had a lot of wood carving to show you before my shop update, but yeah, I really wanted to record an episode for this, but we didn't have internet here in our new house for a month now, and the internet on my phone was just too slow to upload a video, so yeah, I couldn't do it. But I have one more piece that is not yet finished that will end up in the shop maybe next weekend, and it's this Richard Haddle loom, this one Haddle, and I've made a similar one a couple of years ago, and I really wanted to make another one because it was really fun. Let me show you. Yes, and I have tried to weave a little bit because it has been so long time that I've done some band weaving on a rigid huddle loom, and as you can see I just made a really simple pattern, just up and down, so it's maybe difficult to see, but yeah, here you can see, put the thread through the weft and then you can pull it up and then you pull it through again, so it's just stripes, really easy. And yeah, you can do really beautiful intricate patterns with such a loom, and I've done it once before, and it's you're lifting different threads to get different patterns, and it's really fun, and I really want to get better and try again to make a band on this one, a little more complicated band, but I have to find some good books with a description, because I don't think I can do it on my own. So yes, but this, I will paint this one more time, one more layer of white, and then I want to paint a beautiful pattern down here. But then it's finished and will end up in the shop if someone is interested. Yeah, I don't have any Nost pins to show you this time, but yeah, I'm working right now. We have a little what do you call it? Not a barn, but yeah, a shed, a garden shed actually, and I have made a little workshop there for myself, so you can sit and do my wood carving, and so it's really nice to have my own place. Before I always carved inside and when it was cold, and it's not the best because it gets really dirty and messy, and so it's great I have my own space inside, and I can warm it up in winter so I can sit there as well when it's cold. And yes, so I hope I can get something done and do some more carving. I want to do more spoon carving and of course more Nost pins. Yes, but talking about band weaving, I have done some tablet weaving lately because we are going to a Viking market this weekend actually, and I thought it would be really fun to have a belt for the dress I'm sewing, the Viking dress I'm sewing. So I've started some band weaving, some tablet weaving, and it has been 5 years ago since I've done it last. I learned how to do it on Beckedal's Folkeskola. There I was for 2 years, and I've done some band weaving. I can show you one band I made there. It's on this dress. Can you see that? I hope it's focusing. Yeah, I made this dress for Saga's Viking dress, and this fabric is actually hand woven by me. I made it at Beckedal's Folkeskola as well. And dark grey and the light grey are actually hand spun as well, not the medium grey and not the warp as well. But yeah, so this is really a precious fabric, and I had it lying around for 5 years now and I didn't know what to do with it, and I thought yeah, it would be perfect for a little Viking dress for Saga. So yeah, and she really looks so cute in it. I will take lots of pictures when we are at this Viking market so you can see how we looked. And yeah, I'm currently sewing a dress for myself as well because I have only medieval clothing, like 14th century, and no Viking. So I'm currently sewing myself just an easy Viking dress in this red fabric, and it's not quite finished yet. I have to sew in all the folds, and yeah, but I will show you more about the finished look in next time. Yes, but this will be the belt for my dress, and you can see in the beginning it didn't turn out so well. Took me like, yeah, here I started to get a hang of it, and then yeah, it was pretty well, and sometimes I did some errors, and just in the last maybe 15 centimeters I've gotten it right, and I hope I can weave like a bit of 50-60 centimeters that will be without any errors, so it will look good. But I'm really happy how this is turning out, and it's really fun. It's really time consuming to tablet weaving. Basically you have your tablets, and you're twisting some tablets forward and some backwards, depending on where in the pattern you are. And yes, it's sometimes I don't know, I think I twist all the tablets right, but there's an error anyway, and I don't know why, and it's not so easy actually, but it's really fun, and I really want to get better in it, because it's really a fun craft, and there's so many talented tabling weavers out there. They can weave such intricate patterns. It's incredible, really. And the Vikings, they were masters in tablet weaving. There are not many finds of existing tablet weaving bands, but there are some finds that, because Vikings had these tortoise brooches, they're set here, the women, and there are many finds where the pattern has imprinted itself in the metal. There you can see how different bands look like, and this is a pattern from Birka here in Sweden. There's yeah, and some incredible human being has recreated this pattern and many different patterns, and yeah, I think it's really cool that you can yeah, weave the same patterns as the Vikings did more than 1,000 years ago. Yes, so that was, I think that was all I had to show you in this episode. But yeah, stay tuned, because I will include some videos and pictures of the garden and the surroundings. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you liked this episode. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!